Alex lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. The clock on his nightstand glowed 2:13 a.m. He should have been asleep, but his mind was spinning. Weeks had passed since his best friend Mia had moved away. They used to talk every day about school, funny videos, even their secret dreams. Now, their messages grew short, and the calls stopped coming. The distance felt like a wall he couldn't break. He missed her laugh and the way she always understood him. Sometimes, Alex typed out a long message, but deleted it before sending. What if she was busy? What if she'd already made new friends, forgotten all about him? He felt like he was drifting alone in a dark, empty space. Suddenly, a strange blue light flickered at the corner of his room. Alex sat up, rubbing his eyes. Maybe he was dreaming? The light grew brighter, casting dancing shadows on his walls. For a moment, Alex thought it was just a trick of the moon, but the light pulsed, steady and real. A soft sound, almost like wind chimes, filled the air. Slowly, a shape appeared at the foot of his bed. It was a girl, but not like any girl Alex had ever seen. Her skin shimmered like the surface of a bubble, blue and silver at once. Her hair floated around her shoulders, glowing softly in the dark. She wore a strange suit covered in blinking lights and symbols. Alex's heart pounded. He wanted to scream, but all he could do was stare. The girl looked just as scared as he was. She raised her hands, palms open, and made a gentle, musical sound. Her eyes, bright and wide, seemed to search his face for understanding. He sat very still, unsure what to do. Was she real? Was he still dreaming? All the sadness and loneliness he'd been feeling melted into something new, curiosity, and a little bit of hope. The girl tried to speak, but her words sounded like a song, not like anything Alex could understand. She pointed at a device on her wrist, a small, cracked screen showing a picture of a spaceship with flashing red lights. Alex's eyes widened. Was she asking for help? He nodded, not sure if she understood. She looked relieved and sat down on the edge of his bed. For a moment, they just looked at each other, both nervous but trying not to show it. Alex noticed she was shivering, so he quietly grabbed a blanket and handed it to her. She smiled a small, grateful smile that made Alex's heart warm. He realized, deep down, that he didn't want to feel alone anymore. Even if this was the strangest thing that had ever happened to him, he wanted to help her. As she wrapped the blanket around her shoulders, she tried to show him her broken device. The screen flickered, then projected a tiny hologram of her ship, crashed in what looked like the park near his house. Alex gasped. He knew that place. He pointed at the park on the hologram, then at himself, hoping she would understand he wanted to help. The alien girl nodded eagerly, her eyes shining. She tried to stand, but wobbled, looking dizzy. Alex quickly brought her a glass of water. She sniffed it suspiciously, then took a tiny sip. Her face relaxed, and she drank the rest. Alex smiled, relieved. He remembered how Mia used to say, "People aren't so different, no matter where they're from." He never thought it would matter so much. Now, as he watched the alien girl try to fix her device, Alex wondered if maybe, just maybe, he could still make a connection, even across worlds. They heard footsteps in the hallway. Alex's heart raced. If his parents saw her, they'd freak out. He quickly signaled for her to hide under his desk. She moved quickly, folding herself into the small space as if she'd done it 100 times. Alex threw the blanket over his chair just as the door opened. His dad peeked in, yawning. "Everything okay, Alex? I heard a noise." Alex nodded, trying to keep his voice steady. "Just a weird dream, I think." His dad smiled sleepily. "All right, try to get some rest." He closed the door behind him. Alex let out a sigh of relief. The alien girl crawled out, looking at him with a mixture of fear and trust. Alex gave a thumbs up, and she tried to copy him, her face lighting up as she got it right. For the first time in weeks, Alex laughed a real laugh full of hope. He realized that even though Mia was far away, he still had a chance to connect with someone new. Maybe helping this girl would help him too. Maybe he could find a way to feel close to someone again, even if it wasn't the person he missed most. The girl pointed at the hologram again, her eyes pleading. Alex nodded. Tomorrow, he'd help her get to the park, fix her ship, and maybe learn more about her world. He didn't know what would happen next, but for the first time in a long while, he felt excited about tomorrow. As he drifted back to sleep, Alex glanced at the strange, wonderful visitor sitting quietly in his room. Maybe, he thought, sometimes the universe sends you a new friend when you need one most. And maybe, just maybe, you can find hope even in the most unexpected places. And so, on a night that began with loneliness, Alex found himself at the start of an adventure. Accidentally, an alien girl had come to his room at night. And then, everything began to change. Alex sat on the edge of his bed, looking at the soft blue glow coming from under his desk. The alien girl, he decided to call her Zira, since she hadn't told him her name yet, peeked out, her wide eyes full of worry and curiosity. The house was quiet again, but Alex's heart was still racing. He thought about Mia. How many times had they stayed up late, talking about the stars, sharing stories and dreams? Now she was gone, and he couldn't even find the right words to send her a message. He felt just as lost as Zira must have felt, stranded far from home. Zira held out her broken wrist device to Alex. The tiny screen flickered with strange symbols. She made a soft, musical sound and pointed at the device, then at the window. Alex understood. She wanted to fix her ship, but she needed his help to get to the park. He nodded, feeling a little braver. He looked around his room for anything that might help. He grabbed his backpack, filling it with a flashlight, some snacks, and an old phone charger in case Zira needed more wires. Zira watched him, her head tilted, eyes bright with hope. She seemed to understand what he was doing. Alex opened his window as quietly as he could. The night air was cold, but it helped clear his mind. He signaled for Zira to follow him. She moved carefully, light on her feet, barely making a sound. Together, they climbed out into the quiet street, sticking to the shadows. As they walked toward the park, Alex tried to talk to Zira. He pointed at himself. Alex, he said slowly. Zira listened, then touched her chest. Zira, she replied, her voice soft and musical. Alex smiled, repeating her name. It felt good to say it, like he was already making a new friend, even if he didn't know how to talk to her yet. They passed a neighbor's house, where a cat was sitting on the porch. Zira's eyes lit up, and she crouched down, reaching out to the animal. The cat hissed and darted away, making her jump back in surprise. Alex giggled, and Zira looked at him, then started to laugh too, a sound like bells ringing in the night. Thought it felt good to laugh. For a moment, Alex forgot about feeling alone. He remembered Mia's words. When you're kind to someone new, you're never really alone. Maybe he could make a difference for Zira, the way Mia had made a difference for him. They reached the park and ducked behind some bushes. In the darkness, Zira pointed to a cluster of trees nearby. There, half hidden by branches and leaves, was her spaceship. It looked like a silver teardrop, glowing softly in the moonlight. Parts of it were cracked and smoking. Alex stared in amazement. He'd never seen anything like it. Zira rushed to the ship and pressed her hand against the side. A small door opened and blue light spilled out. She motioned for Alex to follow. Inside, the ship was cramped but amazing, with panels full of blinking lights and screens. Zira pulled out a tangled mess of wires and showed Alex a broken part. He recognized what she needed: copper wire. He remembered the charger in his bag and handed it to her. Zira's face lit up as she quickly started working, her fingers moving quickly and skillfully. It was clear she was smart and resourceful, even in a strange world. While Zira worked, Alex sat nearby, thinking about Mia again. He wished he could tell her about this adventure, but he still didn't know what to say. He missed her more than ever, but helping Zira made him feel useful, like he could still do something good, even if he couldn't fix his own sadness yet. Zira looked up from her work and tapped a screen. A hologram appeared, showing her home planet a world with purple skies and silver trees. She pointed at herself, then at the planet, then at the sky outside the ship. Alex understood. She was far from home and missed it, just like he missed Mia. He tried to show her he understood. He drew a quick picture of himself and Mia, then pretended to wave goodbye. Zira watched, then nodded, looking a little sad. She pointed to her heart and then to him, as if to say, "I know how you feel." In that moment, Alex realized that even though they were from different worlds, they shared the same feelings. Both of them missed someone. Both of them were trying to find hope in a world that felt too big and too lonely. Suddenly, Zira's device beeped loudly, and a red light flashed on one of the control panels. She looked worried, tapping quickly at the screen. Outside, Alex saw a flashlight moving across the park. A local conspiracy theorist, Mr. Jenkins, who was always looking for aliens and UFOs. Alex's heart pounded. If Mr. Jenkins saw the ship, everything would be ruined. He whispered to Zira, motioning for her to stay quiet. He crawled out of the ship and threw a pebble toward the other side of the park, hoping to draw the man's attention away. The next morning, Alex woke up feeling different. The glow of the crystal Zira had given him lay on his bedside table, sparkling softly in the sunlight. He picked it up, turning it over in his fingers. It felt warm, almost alive. Zira had trusted him, and her friendship brought a new sense of hope. He thought about Mia. They had shared so many dreams together, and now he felt like a piece of himself was missing. He still wanted to reach out to her, but the words never came. Maybe Zira could help him find the courage to reconnect. After breakfast, Alex grabbed his phone. He hesitated, staring at the screen. Should he message Maya? Just then Zira appeared. In his room, her silver hair glowing in the morning light. She looked curious, scanning his room as if it were a new planet. "Good morning, Zira," Alex greeted her with a smile. "I was just thinking about how to fix my friendship with someone." Zira tilted her head, clearly not understanding. Alex tried to explain. "My friend moved away, and I don't know how to talk to her anymore." He held up his phone and showed her Mia's last message, a simple "I miss you." Zira studied the message, then pointed to the glowing crystal. With a determined look, she gestured for Alex to follow her. They walked outside, the morning air fresh and crisp. Zira led him to the park, where her ship still lay, half hidden in the trees. Once there, Zira opened a panel on the ship and pulled out a small device that looked like a tablet. She tapped the screen, and it lit up with symbols and colors. Alex watched in awe as she pointed to different icons, trying to explain what they did. He recognized some of them: communication, connection, and friendship. "Are you saying we can use this to send a message?" he asked, feeling excited. Zira nodded enthusiastically, tapping her wrist device as if to say, "Let's do it." Alex felt a rush of hope. Maybe this was the key to reaching Mia. He watched as Zira worked, her fingers flying over the screen. She pulled up a picture of Earth and pointed to it, then to a map of the town where he lived. "Can you send a message to my friend?" he asked, his heart racing. Zira smiled and pressed a button. The screen flashed with lights and sounds, and Alex felt a thrill of anticipation. Suddenly, the device projected a hologram of a message in bright colors. Zira had written a simple note. "Hello. I am Zira. I come in peace. Alex is my friend. We want to connect." Alex laughed, feeling a mix of joy and disbelief. That's perfect. But we should add something more personal. He thought for a moment. Can we include a picture of us? Zira nodded, and they took a quick selfie together, both smiling wide. The hologram updated to include the picture. Alex felt a flutter of excitement. He imagined Mia's face when she saw the message. Now, what? He asked, looking at Zira. Zira pointed to a satellite icon on the screen, then to the sky. Alex understood. They needed to send the message into the air. He looked up at the blue sky, feeling nervous but excited. Let's do it. Zira activated the device, and a beam of light shot up into the sky, carrying their message with it. Alex watched in awe, feeling as if they were launching a dream into the universe. "Goodbye, distance," he whispered, feeling empowered as they stood together. Alex realized that Zira had helped him find a way to reach out to Mia. He looked at her, gratitude swelling in his chest. "Thank you, Zira. You've helped me more than you know." Zira smiled, her eyes sparkling. Then, suddenly, her expression changed. She pointed to the ship, and Alex noticed a flickering light on the control panel. Zira hurried back inside, tapping the screen frantically. "What's wrong?" Alex asked, joining her. Zira pointed to the map, where a red dot blinked near the ship's location. She looked worried, and Alex felt a knot of anxiety in his stomach. "Is someone coming?" Zira nodded, looking serious. She pressed a few buttons, and the ship cloaked itself in a shimmering shield. Alex felt a rush of fear. "We need to hide." They crawled under a nearby bush, peeking out cautiously. A few minutes later, a group of kids from school appeared, laughing and playing. They were exploring the park, their voices echoing in the air. Alex recognized them, but they didn't notice him or Zira. "Let's go see if we can find some cool stuff," one of the boys shouted. They ran around, searching for anything interesting. Alex looked at Zira, feeling a mix of relief and worry. "What if they see us?" He whispered. Zira shook her head, pointing to the ship. She seemed determined to protect their secret. They watched as the kids got closer, but just as they reached the bushes, they spotted a shiny rock nearby. "Whoa! Check this out!" one of them exclaimed, diverting their attention. As the kids gathered around the rock, Alex breathed out slowly. Zira smiled at him, and he felt a sense of teamwork between them. They were in this together, facing the unknown side by side. When the kids finally wandered off, Alex and Zira emerged from their hiding spot. "That was close," he said, laughing. Nervously, Zira giggled, and for a moment the fear disappeared. With the danger past, Alex felt the weight of hope settle in his chest. "Now that we've sent the message, what do we do next?" he asked. Zira pointed to the sky and then to the ground, as if to say they should explore both. Alex nodded, feeling adventurous. "Let's see what else we can find." They spent the afternoon wandering through the park, searching for interesting things and sharing stories. Zira showed him how to make small holograms of animals, and Alex showed her how to play simple games on his phone. They laughed and shared, forgetting their worries for a while. As the sun began to set, Alex felt a sense of accomplishment. He had reached out to Mia in a way he never expected. He still missed her, but now he had a new friend who helped him remember that connection is powerful, no matter the distance. Finally, as they sat together on a hill overlooking the park, Zira pointed at the sky where stars were starting to twinkle. Alex looked up, feeling a surge of hope. "We did it, Zira. We connected." Zira smiled and nodded, her eyes shining like the stars above. And in that moment, Alex knew that even though things had changed, he could still find friendship and hope in the most unexpected places. As they sat side by side, Alex couldn't help but smile. Accidentally, an alien girl had come to his room at night, and then they had created something beautiful together. The next morning, Alex woke up with a sense of excitement. The glowing crystal Zira had given him was still on his bedside table, reminding him of their adventure. He could hardly believe they had sent a message to Mia. Now, he felt a mix of hope and nervousness, wondering if she would reply. As he got ready for school, thoughts of Mia flooded his mind. He missed their talks, the way she always knew how to make him smile. But he also felt grateful for Zira, who had brought a new spark into his life. She had shown him that even when things seemed far away, connections could still be made. At school, Alex sat in his usual spot in the cafeteria, glancing at his phone every few minutes. He hoped for a response from Mia, but there was nothing. His heart sank a little. Maybe she was busy making new friends. Maybe she had forgotten about him. "Hey, Alex," a familiar voice called. It was his friend Jake, plopping down next to him. "Ready for the big game on Friday?" "Yeah, I guess," Alex replied, forcing a smile. But his mind was elsewhere. "Still missing Mia?" Jake asked, noticing the change in Alex's mood. "Yeah," Alex admitted. "I sent her a message, but I haven't heard back yet." Jake nodded. "It's tough when friends move away. But don't worry, she'll respond when she can. You should focus on hanging out with us." Alex appreciated Jake's words, but it didn't help the ache in his heart. He wanted to reach out to Mia, but he didn't know how. After school, he headed home, feeling more determined than ever. He rushed up to his room, eager to see Zira. When he opened the door, she was sitting on his bed, tinkering with her wrist device, a look of concentration on her face. "Hey, Zira," Alex greeted her, his spirits lifting. "I was just thinking about you. I haven't heard back from Mia yet, but I want to keep trying." Zira looked up, her eyes brightening. She understood the feeling of longing. She pointed to a small screen on her device and tapped it, showing a hologram of a glowing heart. It was a clear signal of support. Alex smiled. "Thanks, Zira. You always know how to make me feel better." He grabbed the glowing crystal and held it up. "What if we use this to send another message? Maybe something more personal this time." Zira nodded enthusiastically, her silver hair floating around her as she bounced in excitement. Together, they got to work. Zira pulled up the hologram of the message they had sent before. Alex thought hard about what to say. "How about we tell her how much she means to me?" he suggested. "We can show her a little bit of our adventure." 2. Zira watched as Alex typed out a heartfelt message, telling Mia how much he missed her and how they had sent her a message with Zira's help. He included the selfie they had taken together, hoping it would bring a smile to Mia's face. After finishing the message, Alex felt a rush of excitement. "Let's send it," he said, grinning. Zira activated the device, and the beam of light shot up into the sky again. Alex felt a surge of joy. "We did it," he exclaimed. "Now we just have to wait." They spent the rest of the afternoon exploring more of Zira's technology. She showed Alex how to create small holograms of animals, and they laughed as they brought butterflies and birds to life in his room. It felt good to share this fun with Zira. As the sun began to set, Alex and Zira sat on his bed, surrounded by colorful holograms. But in the back of the next day, Alex woke up feeling hopeful. He had sent a message to Mia, and she had replied. It felt like a new beginning. Zira was still in his room, and together they had created a bond that made him feel less alone. After breakfast, Alex hurried to his room, eager to check his phone again. He hoped Mia had sent another message. When he opened the screen, his heart sank a little. It was still quiet. He reminded himself that Mia was busy adjusting to her new life, just like he was trying to adjust to having an alien friend. Good. "Morning, Zira," he said, turning to her. She was sitting on his bed, fiddling with a wrist device, her eyes sparkling with energy. "Good morning, Alex," Zira replied, her voice musical as always. She seemed to sense his mood. She pointed to the window, then to herself, then made a gesture that looked like she was flying. "You want to go outside?" Alex asked, feeling his spirits lift. Zira nodded eagerly, and they both rushed out of the house, ready for an adventure. As they walked through the neighborhood, Alex felt lighter. The sun was shining, and the birds were chirping. He pointed out familiar sights, sharing stories about his life. "That's where I used to play basketball with my friends," he said, gesturing to the park. "And over there is the ice cream shop where Mia and I used to hang out." Zira listened intently, her eyes wide with curiosity. She seemed to absorb every word. Alex chuckled at how different their worlds were, yet how similar their feelings were. They arrived at the park, and Alex noticed a group of kids playing basketball. He felt a pang of nostalgia. "I used to play with them all the time," he said softly. "But now it feels different." Zira looked at him, sensing his sadness. She pointed to the basketball court, her expression encouraging. "You want me to play?" Alex asked, surprised. "But I haven't played in a while." Zira gave an enthusiastic nod, her eyes sparkling. It was as if she was saying, "You can do it." With a deep breath, Alex walked over to the court. The kids looked up, surprised to see him. "Hey, Alex," one of them shouted. "Want to join us?" "Sure," he replied, feeling a rush of excitement mixed with nerves. Zira watched from the sidelines, her presence giving him confidence. As they played, Alex felt his worries fade away. He dribbled the ball and shot hoops, laughing and joking with the other kids. It felt good to be back in the game. He even made a few baskets, and the kids cheered, making him smile. In that moment, he remembered how much he loved basketball. Just like how Zira had shown him the power of friendship, the game reminded him of the joy of connecting with others, even if they looked different or came from different worlds. After the game, Alex jogged over to Zira, who was clapping her hands. In excitement, "You were amazing," she said, her eyes shining. "You made friends." "Thanks, Zira," he replied, beaming. "I couldn't have done it without you. You helped me remember how to connect again." Feeling energized, Alex sat down on the grass, catching his breath. Zira joined him, and they both stared up at the sky. "I still miss Mia," Alex admitted, "but I think I'm learning how to keep our friendship alive, even if she's far away." Zira nodded, understanding his feelings. She pointed again to the bright blue sky, then to the ground, as if to say that connections could exist everywhere, even across worlds. As they sat there, Alex pulled out his phone and typed a message to Mia. "Hey, I played basketball today and thought of you. I hope you're doing well. I miss you." He pressed send, feeling a wave of relief wash over him. Just then, Zira's wrist device lit up with a soft beep. She looked at the screen, then back at Alex, her expression serious. She pointed to the device, and Alex leaned in to see what was happening. The screen showed a message from Mia. "That sounds awesome. I miss playing basketball with you. I'm joining a new team here. Let's play together when I visit." Alex felt a rush of joy. "She wants to play together when she comes back," he exclaimed. "This is amazing." Zira clapped her hands, sharing in his excitement. In that moment, Alex realized that even though they were apart, Mia still cared about their friendship. She wanted to reconnect, just like he did. "Let's celebrate," Alex suggested, feeling inspired. "How about we make something special together?" Something that represents our friendship. Zira's eyes lit up with enthusiasm. She pointed to the trees in the park and made a motion like she was crafting something. Alex understood. You mean we could create something out of nature? They spent the afternoon gathering twigs, leaves, and colorful flowers. Zira showed Alex how to weave the materials together, creating a beautiful friendship bracelet of sorts, something that represented both their worlds. As they worked, Alex shared more stories about Mia, laughing as he remembered funny moments they had shared. Zira listened, her expression warm and encouraging. When their creation was complete, it was a unique piece of art, blending Earth's beauty with Zira's creativity. This is perfect, Alex said, holding it up proudly. We can use this to remind us of our friendship. Zira nodded, her eyes sparkling with joy. They decided to hang it on a branch of a nearby tree, a symbol of their bond. Now it will always be here, Alex said, feeling a sense of satisfaction. A reminder that friendship can go beyond distance. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the park, Alex felt a sense of peace. He had learned that even though he felt distant from Mia, he could still find ways to connect. And with Zira by his side, he realized that new friendships could bring hope and joy. Thank you, Zira, he said softly. You've helped me more than you know. I feel stronger now. Zira smiled, her eyes reflecting the last rays of the sun. She pointed to the glowing crystal, which sparkled in the fading light, and then to the sky filled with stars. Alex looked up, feeling grateful for the connections he had formed. He knew that no matter how far apart they were, friendship could shine brightly, lighting the way through loneliness. That night, as they walked home, Alex felt a renewed sense of hope. He hadn't just found a new friend in Zira. He had also rediscovered the importance of his friendship with Mia. Accidentally, an alien girl had come to his room at night. And then they had created something beautiful together, proving that friendship knows no distance. The next morning, Alex woke up feeling energized. He looked out the window and saw the bright sun shining down, filling him with warmth. The friendship bracelet he and Zira had made hung proudly on a branch in the park, a reminder of their bond. Today, he felt determined to reconnect with Mia in a meaningful way. Good morning, Zira, Alex called as he got ready for the day. She was sitting on his bed, looking at her wrist device, which was filled with colorful lights. I have an idea. Zira turned to him, her silver hair glowing in the sunlight. She tilted her head, curious about what he was planning. Alex took a deep breath. I want to send Mia something special, something that shows her how much I care, but I need your help. Can we create something together? Zira's eyes sparkled with excitement. She nodded vigorously and jumped off the bed, ready to get started. After breakfast, they headed to the park where they had made the friendship bracelet. Alex looked around, thinking of all the things they could create. What if we made a video? We could show her our adventures and tell her how much we miss her. Zira clapped her hands, clearly understanding the idea. She pointed to the park, and then to her device, signaling that they could film their experiences. Great, Alex said, feeling a rush of excitement. Let's show her everything we've done together. They began filming, starting with the friendship bracelet hanging on the tree. Hey, Mia. This is a symbol of our friendship, Alex said into the camera. Zira and I made it together to remind us that distance doesn't matter. Zira waved at the camera, her face beaming with joy. Alex couldn't help but smile. He felt a sense of purpose as they moved through the park. Sharing their adventure with Mia. Next, they stopped by the basketball court. This is where I played with my friends, Alex explained. I had a lot of fun, but I miss playing with you too. Zira picked up a basketball and dribbled it with surprising skill, impressing Alex. She tossed the ball to him, and he caught. it with a laugh. See, Mia? I'm still playing. Zira is a great teammate. They filmed themselves taking shots at the basket, laughing and cheering each other on. Alex felt lighthearted, remembering the joy of playing sports with Mia Dot as they continued their video. They moved to a beautiful spot by the lake. The water shimmered under the sun, and ducks swam nearby. This place is peaceful, Alex said. I wish you could see it, Mia. Zira has shown me so much about friendship and how to connect, even when it feels hard. Zira pointed to the ducks and made a quacking sound, which made Alex laugh. Yeah, they're part of the fun too, he said, capturing the moment on video. After spending time by the lake, they headed back to Alex's house. He felt proud of what they had created. Now we just need to edit it a little and send it to Mia, he said, excited for her to see their adventure. Back in his room, Alex and Zira worked together to put the video together. Zira showed him how to add fun effects and music, making it lively and colorful. They included clips of themselves laughing, playing basketball, and enjoying their time in the park. Finally, they finished the video. Alex beamed at Zira. This is perfect. Now we can show Mia how much we care and how much fun we're having. Zira clapped her hands, sharing in his excitement. Alex felt a surge of hope as he prepared to send the video.